Welcome back to another episode of Expertly Unqualified.
Welcome back, everyone.
If you are new here and you are not following us on YouTube, Instagram, or Spotify, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this episode with a friend, because we're talking about all the ways we have been trying to adult. Obviously, by the title of our podcast, Expertly Unqualified, we are experts, but also very unqualified. And so, with our new season 2, whoop whoop, we are splitting up our different episodes. So last week was a combined episode of, I like to call it a distracted walk and talk, where we talked about things that distracted us, and we are also doing like a walk and talk. But if you remember correctly, last week it was so hot, so we really just did a sit and yap session. But Holly, let me tell you, I did try recording like a little sneak preview of like the distracted walk and talk, and actually was walking and talking. I decided to walk to the pool at 2:30 in the afternoon. So it was like 3 miles when it was like 100 degrees outside, and I was recording. I thought it was so funny. I was telling all these jokes. I go look at the recordings and it didn't record any of my voice. So it's just me talking. So hence why it was never posted. But yeah, so just guys, just know I've been trying to post more on Instagram, but sometimes it just doesn't work out, and that's okay. But yeah, so trying to adult is just a recap of everything we've been doing as adults and maybe how things have helped us do adulting things better, or maybe challenges and struggles we're still facing even as supposed adults. That's what I always like to say. I'm like, are we really adults? I still feel like a child.
And honestly, I think that too. It's like I still feel like I'm the same person I was just in middle school, but just with calmer emotions. But
Yeah, more
here we
bills to
are.
pay. No one trains you for all this stuff they call life, so we're gonna help you out. But I did have a few things, and I have a feeling it's gonna come back to a lot of food items, but maybe that's a good thing. So the first adulting hack. I've got some hacks, and I guess it's kind of just all different hacks. But okay, I went to Costco and I like to buy the ground beef and chicken there because it is like in bulk. And what helps is, even though when you get home from the store you're tired and you don't feel like doing anything, what helps, or what I like to do, is take the ground beef. So the package I got was like 6 pounds of ground beef all in one package. And so what I do is you get out your handy dandy kitchen scale. And if you don't have one, I highly recommend one. And I would separate it into pounds of ground beef and put it into a quart Ziploc bag. And what you can do, my mom taught me this, is you can suck all the air out of the bag and flatten it. And so then when it's nice and flat, then you can freeze it and it takes up less freezer space if you have absolutely no freezer space. And then it's great for when you need to go cook. Since it's so thin, it defrosts super fast. So even if you forget that you're cooking tacos later tonight, you're all set. And then going on with the chicken at Costco, I like to get the packages of chicken. It's like 6 different individual bags of chicken, but they're all attached to each other. So what I like to do is cut up each bag so they're individual bags. But let me warn you, because I learned the hard way. If you stack the chicken packages on top of each other and your freezer is a little bit open and then you close it, 3 packages of chicken will freeze together and you will be forced to cook all 3 packages of chicken in one night. We got our protein in last week, let me tell ya.
Hey, at least it's healthy. At least it's healthy.
That's true. I mean, I really wouldn't complain if it was like 3 ice cream bars attached to each other. I'd be like, twist my arm, I guess I gotta eat all 3 right now. But chicken, yeah, we did a good job eating that. But did you have any adulting things that you've done this past week?
I did some really good sales shopping this week, so I found a bunch of cauliflower crust pizzas. I know they're controversial, but I found a bunch of those on sale for $1 each,
$1?
for marked down from $8 each.
I
And
mean,
same
I
with
would try it for $1.
and honestly, it tastes pretty okay. I will say it does taste healthy, but that's okay. That's and
Yeah,
I also
sometimes you
got a
just
lot,
want like essence of pizza.
and I also got a lot of. I think always forget if it's Amy's or Annie's. I mix them up, but I got a bunch of the organic burritos too for 50 cents each. So I stocked up on some freezer food.
Where are you shopping? Let me tell you, because I need to
Honestly,
know.
I hadn't gone in months, but I went to Walmart, which just sounds insane because I didn't think they would have good deals on healthy food there. But
Hey, you never know.
I forgot if I mentioned this earlier, but I also got my brakes done before it became a problem, which they were kind of expensive, but again,
Claps for you.
it's like one of those things where like I know that they're meant to not last forever. It's just like an oil change, but like oil changes are so much cheaper that it's just so much less frustrating.
Yeah. You're like, "I'm just gonna keep going on it," and then before you know it, then you're not braking and you crash into something, you know? You're like, "How far can I go until it
And
becomes a real problem?"
for anyone who works in fast food, I understand like you got to do what you got to do, but the sound of loud brakes, like squeaking brakes in a drive-through is so painful.
It's the worst.
And
The worst.
then another one. So I absolutely hate talking on the phone and dealing with subscriptions, but when we moved, we got like a deal on like a cell phone plan plus internet through AT&T. And our Wi-Fi through AT&T was so bad. So finally, I looked it up. It was 46. I forgot if it's
Megabytes?
megabytes per second.
I'm
So
sorry, only 46?
so we went back to Xfinity, which is what we've been using for a long time before. The cheapest plan was 300 per second.
Yeah, I'm sorry, how are you getting what was loading, like, 1 letter at a time?
Nothing, honestly, nothing.
My
So
god.
there was a couple of weeks where like honestly, like we lived with that for like over a month before I was finally just like, this has to go, this has to go. I can't do this anymore.
46?
So
That's crazy.
I will say I have gotten nothing done. I'm behind on a lot of things I need to do on the computer, but I will say now I can load on my computer again too. So
At least you had an accurate excuse for that. Dang, what you
so
doing?
um I finally am able to use the internet again.
Well, that's good, that's good.
And then besides that, I've actually been like following up with a lot more plans to see my family because they live about 2 hours away and I haven't seen them too much, but I've been seeing my family.
It's always nice. I'm always torn sometimes. I feel like especially in the summer, of like, I just want to have a weekend of no plans,
Yeah.
but then when I have a weekend of no plans, I just want a weekend full of plans. And then I'm like, if I see a weekend full of plans, sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I had a day to do nothing, you know? So it's like a weird predicament to be in.
Yeah. I definitely relate to that too, where it's just like I'm never sure if I want to be busy or not. But
I'm like,
it's like you never know if you have the energy, but then you don't want I don't want to be flaky, because
mhm.
I have like very fluctuating energy levels, but at the same time it's like so hard to predict.
And then the issue I've run into as well is like, if you agree to do something, but you don't feel like doing it, you don't want to flake because then you'll feel bad about not going. But then if you go, you'll feel like you should have just stayed home, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess that's just part of adulting, which, like, no one, where's the rule book for adulting? Because I couldn't find one at the library when I went. So, like, where's that? I do have to make a note that I did write this on a nice little sticky note so I didn't forget. So that's adulting 101 right there. Write it down or you forget it. But funny enough that you mentioned Walmart, if you haven't done their delivery, it is so convenient. Download the app and you'll keep buying everything. I'm kidding. They have, whether they just drop it off in the store or it gets shipped to you, kind of just like Amazon. It's super convenient. They have pretty good prices on a lot of things. And sometimes it's nice to be like, oh, okay, I need light bulbs and something else, but I don't feel like going out to the store. So you just order it straight from the app. And I actually was going to order from Walmart because they have these like plastic iced coffee to go cups. And I just got a new espresso maker. So I was like, this will be perfect. And they were super cheap. And so instead of adding them to my cart, which a real adult would do, I just apparently liked the product. Like you put a little heart on it so you can come back to your list. And so I went through ordering all my stuff. And for Walmart, you have to spend $35 to get free shipping. Otherwise, I think it's about $7. And usually I find random stuff that I do need for the house. So I go and order, and then about 15 minutes later, I'm like, "Dang it, I didn't order the cups." So I went through all of that. I only wanted to order at Walmart so I could get the cups, and I added a few other things, and I forgot to order the cups. But lucky or unlucky for me, I did find another item to buy again, so I did get the cups eventually. But it's just funny, you're like, "I need to remember to buy this," and then you don't buy it. On my list, I just cracked myself up because I don't even know what this note means, but speaking of espresso makers, so I got those fun cups. I did get a new espresso maker, and let me tell you, if you are interested in making really good coffee at home and you like that's something you enjoy, you'll use it every day, it is so worth it to get a better coffee maker, espresso maker, or really any like appliance that you use a lot. Like it is so worth it. We had been given a gift card to Crate and Barrel and we hadn't used it for like 6 months. We're like, what can we use this on? Don't go to the Crate and Barrel outlet because you still won't be able to afford it. We went and I think I could afford one spoon. You know, it's just when you have to do math on what's 20%, or I'm sorry, what's 70% off of $5,200 for a rug, my brain won't compute. So we figured that we would just upgrade our espresso maker, and I ended up getting the Breville one. And so using girl math, right, we used the gift card, it was on sale, and we've used it every day since I've gotten it. But let me tell you, I miss being able to waste as many beans and milk as I wanted at work to try and get like the perfect latte. I'm at home now and I'm having to use my own beans. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't get a
The
good
next
shot.
time we'll meet up, I'll give you beans because I have hoard level amount already.
Ooh, okay, okay, that sounds good. But I do have to use some more girl math in there, is if you spend a little bit more money on something that you use every day and that has is high quality, you save money over time. So, not that we went out all that often for coffee, but ever since we've gotten it, we haven't gone out, like, once because it's just so good. And it's definitely a big difference from my other espresso maker, which I had no idea. So, I was making crappy coffee for, like, 3 years straight.
And especially if you do like get coffee a lot, like it really saves you a ton of money to get.
Mhm. It might be a little scary to see the price at first, but then if you do the math and you figure out, "Okay, if I use it every day." I should do that math and report back of like, "Okay, it normally costs this, and if I make 2 lattes every day, how much does it come out to?" I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget it, but let's see, 2 lattes a day, how
Okay.
much money? Alright.
This sounds ridiculous, but we just had a new summer launch. So those who aren't from Starbucks, every time they have a launch, they usually raise prices. So guess how much a tall hot mocha costs now?
Shoot, they raised it again from
It's
last week?
$6.
Oh my god.
Yes. So they raised it from last week. So a tall hot mocha is $6.
That's insane. Okay, for those of you who don't know, tall hot mocha is 12 ounces. So it's
And
1 shot of espresso, probably 8 ounces of milk.
what makes me personally frustrated is it's the same price to get a frappuccino, a caramel macchiato, or a mocha, which the frappuccinos are 10 times more difficult to make. So I'm personally not very happy about that. But
Yeah, the gosh, and then the other thing is if you work at Starbucks, they don't tell you about these launches. They tell everybody in the public about what's happening, but nope, you're last to know.
yes, exactly.
You are last to know. That's crazy. Yeah, so you might as well just go buy the espresso maker now and learn how to use it because it'll save
So,
you money.
I mean, I think that espresso machine, you can usually get it for around $800, which sounds like a lot, but 800 divided by 6.
Yeah. How many mochas can you make? And it does go on sale, so it was like $200 off. So,
Ooh,
yeah, it's not as scary of a number that we paid for. I do have to laugh. On my note, I have under over. I don't know what the hell that means.
under, over.
Under over.
That's a game, but I forgot what the game is too.
I
Is
definitely
that a card
wasn't
game?
I wasn't talking about a card game. I don't know what goes on in my mind sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. Here's a major life hack if you haven't used this one before. If you want your whole house cleaned and you've been procrastinating, just invite someone over and then you will literally clean your house from top to bottom in about 1/16 of the amount of time it would take you to do it when you were waiting for yourself to be motivated. It works.
It definitely works. I will say, it used to work when I invited my mom over, but now she just started saying, "Don't clean, I know how you live."
That's so
So,
funny.
at least she still loves me either way.
That's all that matters. Yeah, I get the shoe comment a lot, and my brother likes to poke fun at my shoes. I would have the supposed issue of leaving a lot of my shoes by the front door and not bringing them upstairs, you know? And so then when they come to my house now, they're like, "Oh, I see you still have that shoe problem." My house.
I love my mom dearly, but I will say she deep cleans her house on a schedule. She mops her walls and ceilings, which sounds like a joke. But
Oh my gosh.
she has like it's not a Swiffer, but kind of like is like a bigger, nicer version of a Swiffer that she uses to clean the ceilings and walls. So
That's
she's on her own
that's
level.
dedication. I haven't gotten there yet, but I do have to say my aunt and uncle came over to see our house for the first time. So I had baskets and baskets of laundry everywhere. I've been wanting to clean the bathrooms, but I never find motivation to do it. And so it was 3rd of July when it started storming. So I was like, this is perfect. And I was like all over the house, got that done. But cleaning the kitchen, I feel like is easier for me. Yes, I do let the dishes pile up a little bit, but I can get in a rhythm and clean off the counters. Like that's easy enough for me to do. I did try being a handyman in my own house, and it didn't go quite as planned. Our fridge has an ice maker, but it never makes ice. So I was trying different things to see, I went to that YouTube and searched up there how to do it, and I figured it out, and I turned the ice maker on, and it still wasn't making any ice. So I think the issue is there's no water line behind the thing, and I think that's how I accidentally left the freezer open for all the chicken to stick together. But while doing that, I did learn that underneath the fridge needs to be cleaned, and it was gross. So I went to go grab I have a Swiffer duster. And I'm like, "Oh, perfect. This will fit underneath because it's such a tight squeeze underneath the fridge." And so I'm using that. And I'm patting myself on the back. I'm like, "Yes, finally I'm cleaning something. This will be good when it's over." I'm cleaning the little duster part that like attaches to the wands part flies right off underneath the fridge. I'm like, "No." So I'm trying to use the stick part of it to try and get the Swiffer part of it, and it's just not working. It's getting shoved further and further back. So I had to go over to my parents' house or something, and I randomly found like a metal stick, and so I brought it back and cleaned that. Another PSA: you should clean underneath your oven. There's like that warming drawer. It comes all the way out. I didn't realize that. And then you can vacuum underneath, and it was also very gross. So there's your 2 things to clean this week. Underneath your fridge and underneath your stove. But make sure you close your freezer all the way.
So, another little cleaning hack for long-haired girlies who are stressed and lose a lot of hair. I finally just got a shop vac on wheels. So it has like a normal like hose attachment with like a rectangle so you can vacuum the floor.
Yeah.
So honestly, it is so much easier to vacuum with that just because I don't have to clean out the rollers.
That's such
So
a
there's no
great life
rollers.
hack.
Because I do have a Dyson stick vacuum. I love it. It's great. But at the same time, it's just like it does get pretty difficult to keep like having to clean out the rollers. So if you do have a lot of trouble with like getting hair stuck in your vacuum, honestly just get it.
And if you've never looked at that part of your vacuum, you may want to because, yeah, it does collect a lot of that. And then the roller bar, like, won't spin because there's so much hair.
And an unintentional, like, side effect I realized is that getting a shop vac made my fiance so much more excited to vacuum because it looks like a tool.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess it does. Out of all the household chores that you have and as an adult, which is too many to list, what is your most favorite thing and what is your least favorite thing?
My top favorite, I have no explanation for why. None. I like washing laundry, but not folding and not putting away. Just wash
So, just washing it and then
and
putting
dry
it
it.
into the dryer? Okay, so
Yes,
doing that motion of putting the clothes in, washing them, and taking them out and putting them in the dryer.
yes, and then I'll make my piles of clothes. That's it.
Okay, okay.
I should do more. I don't. That's it.
What's your least favorite?
Least favorite, honestly, anything dusting and vacuuming. I have asthma, so
Oh, that would probably be
it
a
messes
nightmare.
me up a lot more than I think. And like I guess it just makes me angry because then it just sticks for like hours after. What
Yeah.
about you?
Okay, funny enough, I love vacuuming. My grandma a long time ago got a new vacuum, and I said, "Grandma, anytime your carpet needs vacuuming, I'm there. Just call me up." I don't know what it was. I mean, it all started off when I was a young kid, I think. My aunt and uncle had tile in their kitchen, and they had one of those Swiffer wet jets. I remember being 6 years old saying, "I'll clean your floor," and just cleaning the floor. I don't know what it is, but I do like vacuuming a lot. I think it's just satisfying to get those lines on the carpet, and then you can just hear all the dirt being sucked away and you know you cleaned really good. I don't I guess I would say, well, okay, there's a few things I dislike. One is when you're cleaning and you can feel dirt and dust on your feet while you clean.
It's the worst.
That's the worst. So I usually have to put socks on. So yeah, I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of cleaning bathrooms. It's really not even that hard and it makes such a big difference just cleaning the mirror and like wiping down the countertop and clearing off the countertop. But just trying to get me to scrub a tub and clean the shower, and I even got like a nice steam, what is it called? A steam cleaner that it is very satisfying to get all the gobbledygook out of the shower and whatnot, but I'm not motivated to do it. Same thing with like some days I love doing or not love. I don't mind doing dishes. Like yes, I'm cleaning up the kitchen, but I hate when you can't fit all the dishes in one load, and then you have
Oh
some
yeah.
hand wash, and then it's just I want it to fit all in the dishwasher. I want everything to be dishwasher safe, and then I want the dishwasher just empty itself.
And honestly, I have just started only buying and using dishes or dishwasher safe. I've given in.
It's the best when you buy a cup and you're like, "Shoot, I forgot to check if it's dishwasher safe." You flip it over and it is. That's the best day.
And I guess this is like another probably one of my toxic cleaning traits is the bathrooms. I don't mind cleaning them, but I use way too much bleach and I just bleach all like everything, like the floor, ceilings, and walls, unless it's made out of wood. And then the bleach just drips down and then you just mop the floor and then
That's your
it's not
Starbucks cleaning training coming out. Bleach
yes.
everything. It's fine.
Which like honestly, like some of the bathrooms at Starbucks do get pretty gross. So like if it's bad, I'll just use 2 bottles of bleach, one in each hand.
There you go.
Makes go by faster. Just bleach everything. Mop done.
Done. Yeah, it
Does it
makes it simple. Oh my gosh. I guess our focus today is just cleaning, and it's fine. Good summer clean. I did think of something else food-wise too, kind of going off the portioning out your chicken and ground beef is, when I buy onions, usually the bag of 5 or 6 onions is cheaper. I don't know why, but it usually is. And I don't know about you, Holly, but I don't eat 5 to 6 onions in, like, 2 weeks' time. So what I've been doing, and I don't even know where I found this hack, maybe my brain just came up with it, but I would chop up 1 onion, because most of the recipes I make use chopped onion. And so what I would do is just chop up the one onion, put it in a snack Ziploc baggie, and then chop up the other ones. A couple of them I'll make like the rings if I was gonna make sauteed onions to go on brats or something. And I put them all in a little snack Ziploc bag, and I put it all in a gallon Ziploc bag. So anytime I have a recipe that needs chopped onions, boom, I go to the freezer, it's ready to go. And it's also nice because if you've ever seen an onion go bad, it's really gross.
Oh, no, it's bad.
It gets
Same
all
with
gross, yeah.
potatoes and onions, like, last a while, but they stink so bad, so
Mhm.
bad. And
Yeah.
I've been doing that a lot. Also, I really love I don't know how to pronounce it right, but mirepoix, where it's like the carrot, celery, and onions.
Mhm.
So I've been pre-chopping onions, carrots, and celery and just putting them in my freezer. So
If you
'cause
have time to chop, it helps you out so much.
for real, because it's like the most like time consuming and like impossible task to cooking, in my opinion, is like that in dishes where it's like if it's already pre-chopped and you can just throw it in, it's so much easier.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think of under over. You know what? When I think of under over, it's gonna come to me at 2 a.m. when I'm trying to sleep. Under over. That's all it says. Another totally random thing that really has nothing to do with adulting, but I just thought it would be good for the pod to hear. Okay, when you were a kid, did you have an iTunes account?
Yes.
How come no one's talking about I mean, maybe they should do some research into this. When you were a kid, you had an iTunes account, and I don't know about you, but would you have to go ask your parent, "Can I buy this song?"
Yes.
Okay, so sometimes when I get in my car and I try to play Spotify, it just thinks I wanna play Apple Music, and it's all my downloaded songs, and so it starts playing what is it? It'll start playing Suit and Tie, Justin Timberlake. It will play, Crazy by Charles or what is the you know, I'm gonna pull it up because it's some of these songs, I'm like, "What am I doing?" Mike Posner, "Cooler Than You," Gnarls Barkley, "Crazy." I got some Rascal Flatts in there, Jason Derulo, Bruno Mars, "Come and Get It," Selena Gomez. And I'm just thinking back, I'm like, out of all the songs that were there way back when, I chose those ones?
It's it's funny because the first and only song I ever bought on iTunes was Katy Perry "Firework" because I hoarded all of my iTunes gift cards for games. But
Oh my gosh. I think
that's
I probably still have some iTunes gift cards. I got, Flo Rida, Ride Around. Here's a hack. Do not make a song your alarm. I made I Like the Sound of That by Rascal Flatts my alarm for a long time. Now, anytime I hear that song, and I even saw them in concert and they played that song, I have the urge to whack an alarm clock, and it's just so bad. So, so bad. But I'm curious. I would like to know, like, what was everybody's song? Because you think back and, like, man, I had bad taste as a kid, but no one
which
talks about it.
one of my biggest regrets is I had like a gap between when I had an iPod phone and when I got my iPhone, I made a new iTunes account instead of my old Apple account. So I still have my iPod, but I don't have all of the games purchased on my iPhone. So one of my biggest regrets, but probably for
But I think it's hard too, because I still have my iPod Touch and my iPod Nano, the little clip one. But some of the apps on the iPod Touch are no longer a thing,
oh
or
yeah.
especially if you paid for them and
Uh-huh.
they're no longer a thing. So that's a little bit disappointing. But yeah, it's just crazy to think back. Like I really thought the song was so good, I needed to buy it. And I remember walking into my parents' bedroom, like, "Can I buy this song?" Just and of course, my anytime I'm in the car, it just thinks, "Yeah, I wanna go back. I wanna play a crazy song I bought when I was 7." Alright, I think that's about all I had. Did you have anything else?
Trying to think. Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other adulting.
Okay, I will say. So my fiance is getting discharged from the army this month. So we are starting to look into houses because we're eligible for the VA home loan. And I will say, it is so overwhelming to even start.
Mhm.
And there's so many options too. So like recently, did I mention this already on the podcast? Let me know. So you can buy out the remainder of a VA home loan from a prior VA home loan loan
I think I think
person.
you had mentioned that. So, like, if another VA was trying to sell their home and they only had 100,000 left to buy it or to pay off, you could just buy the 100,000 from them?
Yeah. So
Huh.
you would get the same interest rate, but it's interesting, but it's like it's just like an overwhelming amount of information. And like my mom warned me about this too, but like with VA home loans, it's just like extra steps you have to go through. There's extra inspections, but we're probably going to wait because you did this, but houses are like cheapest if you buy them in the winter because no one wants to move their kids' school districts over the winter. And nobody wants to move in the winter, so we'll probably
Our
wait a
next
little bit.
adulting episode, we should do, like, apartments and house hunting and stuff because it really is overwhelming, and there's so much information, it's like you
Oh,
almost don't
yeah.
wanna Google anything because everyone will have a differing opinion. But I think it's good that you're starting to look because then you can figure out what you like and what you don't like, and then once you do find a house that you really do like, then you can go, "Alright, let's grab it," because they
And,
go
like,
fast.
I definitely agree because we can do, like, an episode because I feel like it's very overwhelming to get your own housing and move out of your parents' house, especially, like, where we live, it's, like, a higher cost of living area, but that could be a whole episode.
I think everywhere is a high living cost.
I was gonna say, because I always hear people complain about Chicago's cost of living, but compared to any other city in the US, like East Coast, West Coast, Southwest, Southeast. So expensive, where
Very, very.
it's at least attainable here. I mean, it's not like they're cheap, but it's attainable.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll write that down too, so I don't forget that. But I'm gonna add more words this time so it's not over under because maybe I meant like what's something underrated, what's something overrated, but I don't know. Okay, so house slash apartment discussion. And we want to hear from you. If there's something adulting related that you want to know more about, how do we handle it? Or if you just have experience in something that you feel like the expertly unqualified listeners need to hear, let us know. You can message us, leave a comment on YouTube or Spotify, or DM us on Instagram. We're all at Expertly Unqualified, so we're easy to find. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Trying to Adult because we all are actually adults but don't feel like it. And we will catch you guys next week for Greetings from the Midwest.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, that's a wrap on our episode of Expertly Unqualified. If you stuck around this long,
You're either extremely loyal, extremely bored, or extremely caffeinated. Either way, we love that for you.
make sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review if you laughed, related, or were personally attacked by something we said. Find new episodes and more on our website, thepodmates.com.
And don't forget, follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Expertly Unqualified. Send us your stories, questions, or weird hot takes. You might just hear them on a future episode.
We are, as always,
Expertly Unqualified. Conversation so fun, you'll forget we have no idea what we're doing.
this was a Podmates production.